Assalamu alaikum, my dear friends and fellows. How are you? I welcome you here on my training channel. My name is Abdul Khalik. My dear friends and fellows, look, we have to do, we are doing, we want to do many of the things, of course. And for those things, we need physical capabilities as well as mental capabilities. The mental capabilities are even more important, more critical as far leading a right side sort of life, as for the leading a good life is concerned. So I think that we should be quite careful. We need to pay attention to our mental capabilities, to mental abilities, because the mental abilities is particularly with the humans as well as the physical. If a person is even quite healthy physically but not having the good mental abilities, what is going to happen? They will not be able to perform better in the life at all. So it is really important that we do pay a considerable amount of attention to our mental abilities. So this is the reason that we have made it a topic of our today's discussion, how to maintain and how to develop our mental abilities. So that has been made the topic of our today's discussion, my dear friends and fellows. What we need to do is that there are after some sort of research, after availing the research of the researchers in the relevant field, we have come to a conclusion that there are certain things which are needed, there are certain things which we need to avoid, there are another certain things which we need to do on a regular basis, so that we are better able to develop our mental abilities, better able to maintain and to develop our mental abilities. I think it must be a matter of quite an interest for all the people, because everybody need to maintain, and everybody need to raise their mental abilities. So we have written, we have jotted down some nine such items, which is very important to avoid certain things and very important to do certain other things as well. So first of all, it is the healthy eating. Out of the nine things, the first of all, it is the healthy eating. We need to eat the healthy food. Whatever is not good for our health must be abandoned, either suddenly, abruptly, or gradually. But as soon as but as soon as we come to understand that this thing is not good for my mental health, I think that we need to abandon it at the same time. We must abandon it, and we must not carry it on further at all. So my dear friends and fellows, healthy food is the number one item. And now the number two item is that we need to stay away from the excessive use of the caffeine, of the nicotine, and excessive amount of the tea and the coffee. And even we need to stay away from the smoking is very bad. And some of the people, they chew the tobacco. All of these things are very addictive. I think anything and everything which is addictive must be avoided. And we as for the drug abuse is concerned, that is something very bad indeed. So all of these things, not only that we cannot develop with the presence of these habits, and I think that we will keep deteriorating. Our mental abilities keep going down. All the people who are the smokers, the tobacco chewers, the drug abusers, and those who are taking the excessive amount of caffeine and nicotine. So dear friends and fellows, that was the number two out of the nine. Yes, there are nine things to be taken care of, and this was the second. Now, the third thing is limit distractions, and develop the focus. If at all we are sitting, standing, spending our time somewhere where it is very difficult to develop the focus, I think it is very bad indeed. I think we need to develop our focus, and we need to avoid the distractions, anything which keep distracting us frequently. It will not allow us at all to develop our mental abilities. And if at all we want to develop the mental abilities, what is desperately needed is that we need to avoid the distractions. So that is the number three, and out of the nine. And now the fourth is exercise and oxygen. We need to provide ourselves with certain amount of exercise. It could be walking in a park, it could be deep breathing, exercising, and of course the deep breathing for the purpose of inhaling more and more oxygen. I think it is absolutely good, absolutely useful. I think that each one of us need to spend a little bit of the time in the park, and we need to take the deep breathing for the purpose of inhaling more and more oxygen, because as far our mind is concerned, as far our brain is concerned, it is called a brain, it is called an oxygen fueled computer, an oxygen fueled computer. So for that reason we need to provide our mind with the enough amount of oxygen, and of course a good amount of walk or any other form of the exercise. Now the fifth is stay intellectually stimulated, reading, writing, and research work. We need to keep ourselves intellectually stimulated, because if at all the mind is like a muscle, and like if at all a muscle is not being used, it means that it will keep weakening with the passage of time. We don't have to let it weaken, rather we need to keep it strong. We need to keep it strong, my dear friend. So intellectually stimulating tasks are very very important indeed. Intellectually stimulating tasks are very very important indeed, like reading, like writing, journaling, conducting exercise, or any other form of the mental fun and mental game. I think all of those are very useful. Now the sixth is rest well. We need to sleep well. I think we need to provide ourselves from 7 to 8 hours of the sound sleep, and if at all we are unable to provide ourselves with this much of the sleep, we might not be able to develop our mental abilities at all. So to be able to develop all the mental abilities, all the mental capabilities, all the mental talents, it is very very important. Because as for the sleep is concerned, I think nothing is as good a restorative as it is as this thing which is called sleep and mental abilities. We cannot perform better, we cannot do better at all, unless and until we are dear friends and fellows, unless and until we sleep well, 7 to 8 hours of daily sleep. And for that purpose, as for the arrival of the smartphone is concerned, it has spoiled the focus, it has spoiled the sleep pattern of overwhelming number of the youth across the world. So I think that we need to control the usage of the smartphone if at all we want to sleep well. Now the seventh is manage chronic health problems. If at all there is any chronic health problem, we need to manage it, we need to get it treated, we should try to cure it, or at least we should try to manage it. And now the eighth is that spend time with the positive and the sportive people. Spend time with the positive and the sportive people. It is very very important, because if at all the people are not positive, if at all the people are not sportive, how come shall we be able to get anything good out of that? It is very important indeed that we do spend a little bit of the time with the positive and the sportive people. And now the ninth and the last is seek help, seeking help, seeking help. I think when and from where? From the professionals. We need to seek help from the professionals. So, dear friends and fellows, seeking help from the professionals, that is very, very important. Anytime we are in need of that, we should not be hesitating at all to seek the professional help. Otherwise, otherwise there will be suffering, and we need to avoid the suffering. We rather want to develop our mental abilities. So for that reason and purpose, any time and every time we are in need of any type of the professional help, we should as soon as possible, we should try to consult a relevant expert. Thank you.